Might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know he's been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches gotta be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed some punches, man.
I can totally see Crawford outboxing Canelo, like bad, making him look like taking him straight to school. But again, I do not see Crawford stopping.
The tension between Crawford and Canelo continues to grow as Crawford keeps claiming that Canelo cannot compete with him. The recent clash involving Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez has only added more fuel to the rivalry. Crawford has already begun putting together a strategy aimed at weakening Canelo's strong connection with Mexican boxing fans. The Nebraska fighter is famous for his smart and calculated style inside the ring, and he is now using that same mindset outside the sport by openly questioning Canelo's place as the leading figure in Mexican boxing. It is a bold move inspired by the mental tactics once used by Floyd Mayweather Jr., but delivered with Crawford's own style and approach.
Speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just.
Don't do
obviously.
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Canelo has always proudly represented the Mexican flag, and his heritage has become a major part of his identity and image. That strong connection to his roots helped turn him into a global boxing superstar, and he has never been shy about defending his place as a Mexican boxing icon. But Crawford now appears to have found a weakness in that bond many believed could never be broken. For years, some critics have questioned Canelo's standing among boxing legends, arguing that even though his achievements are impressive, his career has also been carefully managed to protect both his business interests and reputation. This is where Crawford's strategy becomes more serious. He is not only attacking Canelo's boxing skills and record, but also targeting the connection that made him so loved by Mexican fans in a move similar to the mental games Floyd Mayweather once used against Oscar de la Hoya. Crawford even released merchandise showing his image with the Mexican flag and the words "Viva Mexico." This was more than simple promotion. It was a direct challenge to Canelo's role as the main face of Mexican boxing and a calculated attempt to win over fans who believe Canelo focuses more on business than fighting the toughest opponents. Some of Canelo's critics still question his choice of opponents and compare him to legends like Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, Ruben Olivares, and Juan Manuel Marquez, who were known for facing anyone and fighting for legacy before money while showing true Mexican toughness inside the ring. To those supporters, Canelo's success may be massive, but they still feel his career lacks the raw spirit and pride shown by the great champions before him.
I'm going with Terence Crawford, big weight jump. A dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I have not been against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you.
Crawford's new t-shirts are clearly aimed at those fans and are designed to present him as the fighter willing to face any challenge, no matter the money involved. This has become an important part of the build-up before the fight, where mental battles often begin long before the opening bell. Crawford is already applying pressure outside the ring, just like he does during his fights, where he is known for slowly wearing opponents down both physically and mentally. He is now using that same energy in the promotion of the fight. It is a dangerous strategy because it could push away the same fans he is trying to win over, but at the same time it helps paint him as the hungry underdog carrying something to prove. Throughout his career, Crawford has always performed well in that role, and he seems comfortable embracing it once again.
My career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but
Despite all the drama surrounding the fight, the financial side of this matchup remains massive. Reports from several sources suggest that Canelo could earn as much as $150 million for the bout, which is far more than anything Crawford has made before. The huge payday shows just how important this fight is for both fighters and how much attention it has attracted around the world. At the same time, it also adds another angle to the conversation, because some critics believe Canelo's recent decisions show that he is now more focused on building his wealth than proving himself as the #1 pound-for-pound boxer in the sport.
I'm up and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7". My arm's longer.
Yeah.
he's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So,
Veteran promoter Bob Arum, who is known for always speaking his mind, recently admitted that he personally would not spend money to watch this fight because he believes Canelo no longer fights with the same passion. Arum said that while the matchup itself is interesting and good for boxing, he feels Canelo's recent performances have shown that he is now acting more like a businessman than a fighter fully driven by competition and hunger inside the ring.
Crawford Canelo, there's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
What fight
Why
would
do you
make the
feel
most?
he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo,
Arum continued by saying that Canelo no longer seems interested in exciting the fans and instead appears focused on collecting the huge paycheck that comes with every major fight. Still, he admitted that if Canelo decides to fight with the same intensity and determination that Terence Crawford usually brings into the ring, then the matchup could turn into a very entertaining and competitive battle. These comments match the concerns of many boxing fans who feel that Canelo, once known for his aggressive combinations and strong desire to prove himself, has slowly changed into a calculated businessman taking advantage of his superstar status. Crawford, on the other hand, has built a reputation as a serious and fearless fighter who enters every match with full focus and competes like his entire legacy depends on the result.
This fight, Crawford is very talented, great footwork, great combinations, and a very strong fighter. You know, he facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switched my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. One punch at a time. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong.
However, this game offers a huge physical obstacle that cannot be overlooked. Weight has been a recurring topic, with many wondering if Crawford, who has spent the bulk of his career at lightweight and welterweight, can handle the power and toughness of a natural super. It'll weight like Canelo. This is more than just increasing muscle. It marks a fundamental transformation in Crawford's approach to the fight. Others have faced disastrous consequences as a result of this leap. Jermall Charlo, for example, was brutally dominated when he stepped up to weight classes to face Canelo, serving as a clear reminder of the risks involved with such a move.
Should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermall Charlo.
Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both Crawford and Canelo, offered a realistic warning about Crawford's challenge. He explained that when a fighter moves up in weight to face someone like Canelo, they must train and spar with much heavier opponents, and that process can take a serious toll on the body over time. Khan said that putting on extra weight is not just about size, but also about the physical strain that comes with it, and he questioned whether Crawford really needs to push himself that far.
Canelo just outboxes, well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give, Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well, so I think Canelo just wins that fight easy.
Would it be a knockout?
Could be, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say.
This is the point where Crawford's biggest physical test begins. He has already shown that he can adjust to different fighting styles and overcome tough challenges, but stepping up to face Canelo brings a different level of danger, especially against a proven power puncher. Still, it is possible that Crawford is motivated by exactly this kind of challenge. It is a high-risk and high-reward situation that could either confirm his status as one of the best fighters of his generation or expose the limits of his body at a higher weight. The matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has already sparked predictions from major names in boxing, with opinions ranging from confidence in a Canelo knockout to more careful optimism about Crawford's chances.
For years, I think Bud would beat Canelo. I think Bud just got the style that outbox Canelo. I seen Canelo get outboxed every time, so I think Bud is the guy.
What did you think when everybody thought Bud was going to lose? When he fought, and everybody thought he was going to lose, and he came in pairs. Charlamagne thought he was going to lose. He came in
Julio Cesar Chavez, a legendary figure in Mexican boxing, was very direct about this matchup. Known for his honest opinions and deep understanding of the sport, he completely doubts Crawford's chances. In his view, the fight is heavily one-sided, with Canelo's size and punching power creating a major problem for the smaller Crawford. He described it as an unfair matchup. In a recent interview, Chavez said that while Crawford is a great fighter, Canelo is simply on another level, and that Crawford may be chasing a big payday but could end up getting knocked out. It is a strong and dismissive opinion, but it also reflects the thinking of many old-school fighters who are skeptical about big jumps in weight, especially when a fighter may not have the natural size to absorb punishment from a much heavier opponent.
Pelea muy dispareja, la verdad. Crawford es un gran peleador, pero no tiene nada que hacer en ese peso. Con todo respeto, él va por el dinero y Canelo lo va a noquear.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to...
This view is not without some logic. Canelo, despite the debate around his reputation, has proven himself as a dominant force at super middleweight. He has defeated some of the hardest punchers in the sport and has taken shots that would likely stop smaller fighters. The Mexican star is well known for his strong chin, punishing body shots, and his ability to pressure opponents by cutting off the ring effectively. Chavez's prediction is built on the belief that no matter how skilled Crawford is, he may not have the natural size or physical strength to deal with a full-sized 168-pound fighter at the peak of his power.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford.
Oscar de la Hoya, another former champion and now promoter who has worked closely with Canelo, also leans toward Alvarez in this matchup. De la Hoya, who signed Canelo to his Golden Boy promotion back in 2010 and played a key role in his rise to stardom, has expressed similar concerns about the size difference despite the tension that later developed between them around 2020. He still respects Canelo's natural physical strength and sees him as the more powerful fighter overall. In a past interview that was later removed, De La Hoya suggested that while Crawford may have superior pure boxing skills, Canelo's size and strength would likely become the deciding factors inside the ring.
You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and
when comparing their skill sets, there is a clear view that Crawford is the more technically refined fighter. Even De La Hoya has agreed with that assessment. However, Canelo brings major advantages in size, strength, and power, and as Bob Arum has also suggested, he could eventually break Crawford down over time. It would likely be a tough contest early on, but some believe the fight could become one-sided after a few rounds. The idea is that Canelo would slowly apply more pressure as the fight progresses, and by the later rounds his physical strength and punching power could become overwhelming for Crawford.
A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
Eddie Hearn, a promoter known for his straightforward opinions, offered a more balanced view but still leaned toward Canelo in the end. He highlighted the physical reality of the matchup and said that while Crawford is extremely skilled, he is not a natural super middleweight. Hearn also referred to Crawford's fight against Israil Madrimov, noting that even at a lower weight he did not appear fully dominant. In Hearn's view, Crawford is not a big light middleweight, nor is he a naturally sized super middleweight. He pointed out that Canelo's ability to absorb punishment and land powerful fight-changing shots would likely create serious problems for Crawford over the course of the fight.